All right, here we go. It says going live. All right, it says we're live right here on YouTube, so I'm gonna trust that it's true. Let's get the show started. Good evening. How about this? Good evening, Explorer families. Hey, welcome to our high school information night. We know there's a bunch of 8th grade families out there ready to soak up some amazing information about our incredible, brand new high school. Let's introduce the folks on the screen today, and then we'll dive right into a great show. My name is Mr. Ike. I'm the executive director of our Westlake Charter School. To the right on my screen is our principal.
Hi, my name is Emily Baden. I am your Westlake Charter High School principal.
And
my name is Leslie Sargent. I'm the director of high school development.
Now, Mrs. Sargent, Mrs. Batten, you guys have been developing this high school now for over a year. The pieces are coming together. It's starting to feel real, huh?
It is. I think, Mr. Ike, when we hit double digits in our days to open countdown, it began to feel real. Yep.
The countdown's been the greatest. A little countdown on the little spreadsheet, and we keep opening it up. You're like, we're at 99 days to open. Like, it's on.
It keeps moving. It keeps moving on down.
This is so great. This is great. We've got a great show for you tonight, families. Thank you for being here. Please, tweet out the link. Let your friends know that we're live right now. And if we talk too fast or you miss anything, this will be housed on YouTube. You can watch it. However, this is not just a one-way informational stream. You can see a link on the screen right now, and it says to ask a question, go to this link. So it's a Google form. You can go from your phone or from a computer. It is cap sensitive or capital sensitive, so type in wcsinfo.cc/ and those are all lowercase, and then uppercase WCHS, uppercase P for parent, uppercase N for night. So go to that link, ask us any questions, get involved in the show. We'd love to answer all of your questions tonight. Team, are you ready to fire up the show?
Can't wait.
Let's go.
Can't wait. Let's go. I love it. Okay, what could go wrong? Live on YouTube. Well, here's the agenda for tonight. We're going to go over kind of some high-level information, and we're going to try to keep it concise because, my goodness, we could go for hours about each slide and each one of these topics. We're going to talk through academics because we know that academics is number one to a lot of our families, but we're also going to talk social emotional learning at Westlake Charter High School. And that includes, like, how do we teach social emotional learning, but how do we offer activities, clubs, sports, culture, the things that make high school feel like high school for your student. We're also going to talk about 4-year planning. This is really important because your child's in 8th grade today, but right now is the exact right time to be creating that 4-year plan as a family to say, how will we meet the personalized goals for your student? How are they getting to college? What kind of college? To what kind of career? We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We're going to talk through location because we have some amazing plans for this incredibly close and phenomenal location, big, spacious place that we're going to be at in the fall. And then we're going to talk about next steps. Hey, what are next steps? What is it? What's the call to action tonight? How do I get involved in Westlake Charter High School? And on the screen here, you can see that we have the link for asking questions. wcsinfo.cc/WCHS Parent Night. We also have another link to get our school profile. I'd love for you to grab that link. It's kind of like an informational 2-pager little PDF that's just got some of the highlights that we're going to talk about tonight. So do a screen grab right now. Just grab that link and then go type it in so you have it with you. Team, we ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Ms. Batten, I think you have this first slide. Let's talk it out.
I do, and you do. So we sent out an RSVP form that had space for questions, and some families said, "Hey, are you going to have the same schedule for the K-8 and the high school?" So as a K-12 school, I wanted to come on tonight and assure families that yes, our high school program will start on the same day, our first day of school. I want to call this out, August 11th, 2021. Our academic calendar, so start and end dates, breaks, all align with our K-8. The one thing to note is just that our high school is on semesters, a semester grading system, and the K-8 is on trimesters, so for report cards and things like that. And then the most exciting piece, and I see each of their faces as I say this number, 125 ninth graders will start our school next year.
Yeah, we have a great turnout of the lottery. Lots of people in the lottery, but we want every one of our 8th graders to get those first seats.
Yeah.
Tell us about our founding team.
Absolutely. So we've mentioned a couple of times, I think through Coffee Talk and the board, a couple different places that we are in the process of hiring that founding team. We are a week or so away from getting them all in the seat and having all of our team together. So we just wanted to come out tonight and share that we will, different than our middle school model, right? That our high school will have a teacher per subject area. So in middle school, you've got one humanities teacher and one math science teacher. In high school, we'll have a teacher per subject area. But then also call out the intentional extension of our K-8, and that those student support services team members that you have come to know as you interact with that team are part of the high school program as well. So our ed specialist, a student support services teacher on special assignment to help with all of those components, a school counselor, and instructional aides as well. So again, intentional planning in that team. We are, as we see people fitting into slots, we are so excited about this founding team. Some real rock stars, people who are coming together cannot wait to be part of this high school starting off in the fall.
Yeah, how many applications? I mean, we have like 8 positions open. We had well over 100 applications.
Well over 100 applications.
Crazy.
And I know everyone out there is familiar with the cadence of school hiring. We went out pretty early, intentionally went out to get this team formed early in the season. So we were like, what's it going to be like? And to get over 100 applications this early in the game was pretty exciting. So
Yeah, unusual for sure. Great stuff, everybody. Let's talk through the schedule.
Yeah, let's talk about our bell schedule for Westlake Charter High School. We are going to be operating on a 4x4 bell schedule, which allows some really unique opportunities for personalization for our high school students. Our start time will be 8:30 and our end time will be 3:55. So it's a pretty typical secondary school day. And we'll have 4 academic periods a day. And the nice thing about the 4x4 is it allows us periods to be a little longer, almost 80 minutes. So we'll have lots of time to dig in and go deep. So 4 academic periods a day, and then we'll have flex blocks every day, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, to really personalize and extend and support students to make sure that they all graduate college ready, and advisory 2 days a week as well.
Yeah, the 4x4 schedule is phenomenal. It really allows our students to take more courses towards college and career over the course of their 4 years. It is such a wonderful benefit for our students. As we start to launch the conversation tonight, we want you to know that we're grounding all of our decision-making around this document that you see right here. This is our graduate profile. What type of student is going to graduate from Westlake Charter High School, right? We want them to be an inspiring adult with the academic and social emotional readiness to lead as global citizens. And boy, I can unpack this for hours on end. Each word in this document is purposely placed on a K-12 continuum that we're extending our K-8 to become a K-12. We expect those graduates to really resonate with the core values and the mission of this school that goes kindergarten all the way up through 12th grade and on into college. And so we're very excited about this work because it helps to guide our decision making. Why did we go with a 4x4 schedule? Why are we using flex blocks? What about these UC approved honors courses? It all ties to this mission of graduating these students who are at the top of the field as inspiring adults. And so we're very excited to launch this piece and have it guide us. If you'd like a copy of this document, we'll make sure that everybody has access to it so you can read it and think, yeah, that's going to be my child graduating from Westlake Charter High School. Let's dive into the work. We're going to talk academics, then we'll talk social emotional. These first 4 segments of academics, we'll talk about the graduation requirements, incredibly important for high school, right? Dual enrollment, very exciting. Our UC approved honors courses and flex block. What is a flex block and why do we have it? I can't wait. Let's dive in. I'll take the first one. Is this one me? It is. Yeah. So, how many credits do I need to graduate? We'll need 260 credits to graduate from our school, and with our 4x4 block, there's actually the opportunity to take way more than 260. So while you need 260 to graduate, there's opportunities to take college and career courses, CTE courses, lots of electives. It's going to be a fantastic opportunity for our school. Our school graduation requirements are aligned with the UC and CSU, the University of California and the Cal State University enrollment systems, so that when our students graduate, they will graduate with all 15 of the A to G course requirements needed for entrance into college. So our students will graduate college ready, but in a moment you're going to hear more than college ready. They're going to graduate college proven.
Yep, and that leads right into dual enrollment. So we are so excited to partner with American River College. They have just already been tremendous partners with us, and we are going to be able to offer our students college courses on our high school campus. So starting in 10th grade, our students will have access to a wide array of college courses that are aligned with our program. As Mr. Ike mentioned, all of our students, all of our Westlake Charter High School Explorers will take one college course that will ensure that they are graduating college proven. As Mrs. Sargent and I began talking last year with UC counselors, admissions counselors, are like, what we're looking for are those students who have taken college courses and demonstrated mastery at the rigor that's expected at college. And so we're going to make that happen. And just, as we look at that 4x4 schedule over the 4 years of planning, 4-year planning, we see that students are able to take up to 12 college courses during high school. Those college courses are offered free, and so a student then transferring to college with those courses completed. So it's a huge, beyond the excitement for our program, a financial savings, a college planning piece that is so important, and we don't want to overlook that. So we are very excited about the dual enrollment opportunities, and we'll talk a little bit about this later. Sorry. In addition to like the college courses that we traditionally think of as college courses, advanced math courses, science courses, some college prep, like what it means to be a college student. We also are partnered in their CTE, Career Technical Education Pathways, as well. So those will also be an offering for our students. And again, we'll show you when we get to 4-year planning what that could look like. So it's exciting.
We could do a whole night just on CTE. The course offerings are fabulous. Those 12 college courses, those are 3-unit college courses, correct? So you're talking about like 36 potential units that could transfer. You could be a sophomore leaving high school. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
UC approved honors program.
We have another really amazing opportunity for our students who want to go deeper and have some extension in specific areas of interest or potentially something they might want to major in college. So we will be offering UC approved honors program courses that begin in 10th grade for our students, and we're going to offer them in all our core subject areas. And these will be also UC and CSU approved, and students will receive also another added benefit, that weighted GPA piece, so helps students be more competitive for acceptance into college. And like I mentioned, these are going to be extension opportunities, not just more work, going deeper, engaging in something that you think you might be really interested in or want to major in college, and having that opportunity to go deeper will be really exciting for our students in our honors program courses.
Yeah, I love the idea of the honors courses, going deeper, holding small seminars. Oh, I'm in the honors biology seminar this week. I love it. I see our special guest showing up because she's got the next slide. So I'll finish out this slide before I introduce the amazing Christina Ike, our Director of Student Support Services. The last piece of our academic presentation is flex blocks. What is a flex block? First of all, it's a block of time. So to not confuse anybody, a block of time that's placed into our daily schedule. So there'll be flexible blocks of time in our daily schedule for all of our students. Well, why would we do that? Well, some students might need an extra little bit of tutoring during the day to make sure they're passing their college courses, their honors courses, their academic college prep courses. Like some of us need a little intervention and support. That's not going to happen by saying, oh, hey, skip soccer practice today and come after school tutoring. No, you got soccer practice after school. During the school day, we will support you using flex blocks. But it's not only for intervention, it's also for honors seminars. I'm in honors biology, and maybe once or twice a week, honors biology is meeting during these flex blocks to go deep, like Mrs. Sargent said, and have these really rich opportunities to learn at different levels. We can have club meetings, activities happening during the flex blocks. We can have school activities, like rallies during the flex blocks. We built these pieces of time into the day so everybody gets what they need when they need for as long as they need it. We think this is one of the pieces that will ensure all of our students will be successful at Westlake Charter High School. And now, speaking of making sure all of our students are successful, this next slide talks about one of the most important parts of our K-8 program that's about to extend to K-12. Welcome to the show. Hi, Mrs. Ike.
Hi, everyone. Hi, families. My name is Christina Ike. I am the Student Support Services Director, and like John said, we are so excited to bring our Student Support Services protocols we have created in our K-8 program up to our high school. And those protocols include, they're really focused on providing academic, social, emotional, and behavioral support to our students through Tier 1, 2, and 3, through that multi-tiered system support. And what that means is really focusing on full inclusion. Special education at Westlake Charter School is a full inclusion program. What that means is students who are served by special education are enrolled in the general education classroom, and those Tier 2 and Tier 3 supports that they need are brought to them in the classroom, whether they're through accommodations, modifications of curriculum, or actual people, special education teachers, instructional aides who are there to support and provide those Tier 2 and Tier 3 supports to students so they can be successful in the general education classroom. It's our school counselors providing those Tier 1 and Tier 2 academic and social emotional supports. And it's our teacher on special assignment collaborating with the general education teacher on what kind of Tier 2 and Tier 3 support students need, maybe during those flex blocks or inside the classroom. And really, the whole key of student support services is collaboration. And I think I've said that several times, but collaboration between the student support services team, between the teachers, between families, so that we can figure out how to wrap around students and really provide them what they need at the time they need it. We're so excited to bring that to our high school. If at any point you're interested in learning more about student support services at Westlake Charter High School, please reach out to me. Like I said, I'm Christina Ike. I'm the director, and I'd love to talk about it and talk about our team that's going to be at the high school that you'll see around.
One thing I think is fascinating about the student support services work, Mrs. Ike, is that some people will hear you talk tonight and think, oh, this is about special education. But in reality, the student support services team over the 4 years of high school, I'm sure are going to interact probably with every single student on our campus, because at some point or another, every one of us needs some extra support, whether that's from our counselor, our school psychologist, our teacher on special assignment, offering intervention, support, and tutoring. It is such a bigger piece of the puzzle than just special education. I just want people to know that because we have these multi-tiered systems of support, our students are all better off because of it. I love that piece.
It is really about all students, and I want to say student support services often collaborates on those Tier 1. If you look at that triangle of supports, Tier 1 is what all students get. And sometimes we create things in classrooms that seem like they might be good for a few students that are really actually beneficial for all students. And so we really work in all the tiers.
I love it. Well, hey, thanks for coming out tonight. I know we dragged you in here for one slide, but thank you. I think our families appreciate it.
Thanks.
Excellent.
Families, we're going to move from the academics into the social emotional. And again, social emotional. Oh, Ms. Batten?
We just have a couple of questions that have come in on the form. And we love, getting these questions and interacting with our audience through this time. So
love it.
Can we pause for two of our academic questions?
100%.
Okay. So first question up, will the high school use a traditional letter grading system? Are we going to be on letter grades or numbers?
You want me to take that?
Go for it, Mr. Ike. Could you?
Yeah. We're a big fan of the kindergarten through 8th grade standards-based grading. We think the standards-based grading is really important in the work that we do. It helps our students kindergarten through 8th grade. In the high school, we will have standard grades, ABC grades. However, we will still adhere to our philosophy that we believe that grading should never be about behavior. Grading should never be about just sheer compliance. That grading is about mastering the content standards, and that when your child receives a grade, you'll be able to know that that grade is based on their mastery of the content, not, scrubbing out some extra credit to get some grade. It is about learning and about demonstrating mastery of learning. So yeah, we're committed to that. We will adhere to the letter grading purposely because we want to be able to get all of our kids on to college, and we think that that's a real, it's a real quintessential piece right now for colleges to all be able to see a transcript and know exactly what it means.
Absolutely. And then just one more question. I know that the three of us on this screen have talked about sometime is that to help develop a more well-rounded young adult, I'm hoping to see some short programs around financial literacy, taxes, kind of those life skill things. I know that this has bubbled up for us several times as we talk about students being college proven, right? That's so much more than being able to check the box of having taken a college class. We know that our students who are going off into the world, whatever their next path is after graduation, to have those financial literacy skills and to have those life skills as part of their the backpack that they pack off as they leave is a really important piece. And we've talked to some really amazing educators out there in the field who've developed some programs that are part of advisory pieces, are fitting into math classes. So definitely looking to incorporate those pieces into our program, 9th through 12th grade.
Yeah, and I mean, we could go into all different curricular pathways on that conversation.
Absolutely.
Health and longevity, financial, all those pieces that we've talked about. So yeah, very exciting, excellent question, great topic.
Yeah, and thank you for keep those questions coming. We're excited to be able to interact with you throughout the program. So
yeah, I love it. I'd like to hear who's asking questions. I'd love to hear some family names, man.
Oh.
Drop your name in the chat, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, we are diving in the social emotional learning part. Again, SEL is very specific about social emotional learning. How are we teaching our kids self-awareness, social awareness, digital citizenship, relationship building skills? These are actual standards that we want our students to master. However, in the high school package, it also incorporates activities and field lessons, advisory, clubs, and so we want to put all that under this umbrella and walk you through that. I'll take the first one, I think. Is that okay?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, if you're part of Westlake Charter School, you're at least aware of how our middle school handles our advisory program. That in 6th grade you start with one advisor, and you stay with that advisor 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And by the time you get to 8th grade, and you're part of Eichley's Army, you've won the chili cook-off 3 times in a row or something, and you're part of something. You're part of a group that has an identity. We're going to do the same thing in high school. You'll start with an advisory group your freshman year, and when you graduate, as seniors together and walk that stage, you will be part of something that had been together that entire time. We're going to be using that advisory, obviously for some social emotional learning check-ins, but also for academics. Our 4-year planning piece that you're going to hear about tonight is very important to us, and we're going to be using the advisory model to check in regularly on our 4-year plans. How are we doing? Are they needing to be adjusting? Oh, freshman year, I thought I was really targeting engineering, but now as a junior, I started to think maybe I'm going to go toward this CTE pathway in diesel mechanic. So they're going to meet twice a week, and they're going to work, on some restorative pieces like restorative justice, which is a wonderful opportunity for us to get in these community circles and talk through what's happening in our lives as teenagers, right? As these students become the young adults that we want them to become, they need a safe space to talk through what that means. And so those restorative circles are a great place to do that. Another part of our program is field lessons. I love this piece.
Yeah, can I take field lessons?
All you.
Okay, so we one of the benefits of being a K-8 school and building a high school is that we've got a ready group of participants to talk about high school with. So we'll talk a couple times this evening about how we've partnered with our current students to make sure that their voice is part of the development of this high school. And while this field lessons would have definitely been part of the plan no matter what, when we surveyed our middle school students last year, field lessons kept coming up as something that they wanted to see as part of the high school. And we haven't really talked a lot about is that fully grown out, our school will be 500 students, which I was calling a year ago a small school. I've learned since then that we are actually technically a medium school, that there are schools that are much smaller than us. But being 500 students does allow for us to have some opportunities that you may not have at a larger school where it could be harder to schedule and facilitate these field lessons. So we are committed to continuing that out of the classroom learning that is such an integral part of our K-8 program, and are starting off with plans already in the works to take our entire 9th grade class down to LA next spring to visit the Museum of Tolerance as a connection to the work that we're doing in our social science classes and advisory classes. They'll take part in a 2-day seminar while at the Museum of Tolerance and do some really deep dive conversations with other high school students. We will then also visit UCLA. So visiting college campuses is a really important part of our high school plan, right? Getting our students onto college campuses, having them see what they like and don't like about schools, asking questions of students who attend those schools. And so we're very excited about that first field lesson and really can't wait to see when that founding team comes together and they're given the reins to begin to develop subject-specific field lessons, where they go with that. We've seen our K-8 teachers just blow our minds with where our students are traveling to, and we can't wait to pick that back up again in 9th grade.
Oh, it's going to be so exciting. So exciting. Clubs and student activities.
This is so exciting. Miss Batten and I have had the pleasure of meeting with our high school spirit council multiple times over the course of this year, and it's been incredibly fun to get their ideas about clubs and activities that they want on their high school campus. And they have tons of amazing ideas about forming a whole variety of different clubs so that every student has a place to connect. Mr. Ike mentioned that we will have opportunities for clubs to meet during flex blocks, both during the day, which is really great in case students have other things going on after school, that they're still going to have that opportunity to connect with clubs during the day. And our student government group will be running these clubs and really seeking out all kinds of different opportunities to engage every student on our campus in a club that's in an area of interest for them. So we're really excited about that. And it's been incredibly fun to work with our 8th graders who are going to be soon to be 9th graders at our high school.
Can't wait to see what they do. I can't wait to see it.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. One thing that makes high school so special are those school activities. And we've heard from our families and our students how excited they are to be able to have those opportunities. And we have had some questions about, well, how's it going to be? Is it going to be kind of a small school? Well, Ms. Batten talked about us being a middle school, and we are going to have the most amazing activities for our Westlake Charter High School students, to include homecoming, prom, sports rallies. The sky's the limit, and the High School Spirit Council and our students involved in student government already have so many amazing ideas for our students that you guys are going to be so excited to be a part of our school and join in on all these amazing activities that are going to be innovated every year to meet the needs of our students based on what you guys are interested in participating in.
Hey, I love that your High School Spirit Council has been talking about mascots, which won't just be like a representation of explorers at the high school. They're going to affect the whole K-12. So I can't wait till they unveil. Like, they won't even tell me what's going on. So I can't wait to hear what happens next with that. Speaking of ramping up, is this you, Batten?
This is me, yeah.
All
and
right.
If we talk about social emotional learning, we put the 4 pieces on one slide together. We gave this component its own slide because we wanted to make sure our families knew that athletics and the impact that athletics bring to a high school campus are very important to us. So we began the work of joining CIF, the California International Federation. I think I always I've always, since I was in high school, just called it CIF, and recently learned what its actual acronym stands for. So we've become a Sac Joaquin section member. Recently, we've already begun collaborating with local area athletics directors and talking about next year's season. Next year, we will offer both genders volleyball, soccer, basketball, co-ed cross country, and then just a little slip in there at the bottom. We, again, talking to our students and getting their feedback, heard a kind of a rousing cry for esports, which is something that was brand new to me. We connected with some people who have started esports leagues. There are college scholarships being given for esports.
Sure.
So we're jumping on that bandwagon, and we'll be offering esports, and our students are giving us some great feedback and where we should be setting our sights when it comes to esports. So that will be our sports offerings next year. And then as we look to expand, as we grow, we will look into swimming, diving, water polo with that a beautiful aquatic center opening in North Natomas, and potentially golf. And there's other sports that would potentially be on the table as well. But these we're excited to support these pieces. And we know that sports on campus are not only impacting the athletes that participate in them, but the entire school culture and school spirit. So
I can't wait to watch our first esports scholarship come through. I think
Right.
we get lots of we have talented athletes in our current student population. But I when we get our first esports scholarship, I'm gonna be like, there we go. We've arrived in the 21st century. That's
Can
cool.
I actually share something, Mr. Ike?
Yeah,
And just talk about that. We did connect with an athletics director who is in a school up the hill. He was actually the one who told me that we were not a small school. He has 125 total students in his high school. 2 of his baseball players last year got full ride scholarships to Duke. So as we talk about those scholarship opportunities, sometimes I think we only associate them with those bigger comprehensive schools, but having a solid sports program, exactly like what we're planning to build, you'll have eyes on you, and we're excited to offer those opportunities for our students.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're competing in CIF, and we have an academic program that ensures academic success and gives you all the point values for application for the UC pool. I mean, you will have eyes on you for scholarships because you'll have the full package. You'll have the CIF recognized athletics program coupled with a really rigorous and recognizable academic program. I'm a believer. I can't wait to see the esports.
So we do have some more questions are piling in, but I'd like to make sure that we're kind of answering them as we go before we jump into 4-year planning.
Let's get some questions from students. Any students? Let's prioritize those ones.
I don't have any student questions.
I'm just shouting out any students out there.
Any students out there, ask us some questions. So going back to the schedule, a question just about our early out Wednesdays, if those will be a part of the high school program as well, and they will, and that will allow our staff, our K-12 staff, to collaborate with each other, and so we'll keep that piece of our model moving forward.
I can't believe nobody's asked about uniforms yet. Is that on a slide somewhere?
It is not, Mr. Ike. I've said it so many times that I think it's out. I feel like it's on the water, but
maybe everybody knows. Maybe everybody knows that yes, no uniforms at the high school. Yeah, other than these athletics uniforms, which look pretty slick.
They're pretty awesome. Another question: has there been more discussion about transportation services to the campus, partnerships with Jibe or other transportation services? And if I can kind of take that one,
yeah, please.
So we are partnering with Jibe. We've been talking to Jibe about what opportunities there exist for transportation, both potentially morning transportation. Jibe is working on some of their North and Thomas routes, and so we're eagerly partnering with them, and we'll get that information to our families. But then also looking at some after-school transportation for athletics between our two campuses. And so we're excited to partner with Jibe and see what opportunities exist there.
Yeah, and I'd love to hear from families directly who are interested in types of transportation and from where you are located, because that would give me some opportunity to say to our board, hey, look, I've got these families who live here, here, and here who are looking for transportation. Let's really move on this. So we would love to partner with you families. If you're here and you're asking that question, reach out to us at admin@westlakecharter.com. We'd love to partner on the transportation piece. Great question.
And then just one more question I'll answer now, if that's okay. So just a family asking about the growth of our high school.
Oh, yeah.
So we will start with 9th grade, and then year 2 we'll have 9th and 10th grade, year 3, 9th, 10th, 11th grade, and then year 4 we will graduate our seniors. So this year's 9th grade class will be the first graduating class, which is something that we are going to capitalize on as much as possible. We are so excited about that.
They will be the kings and queens of Westlake Charter School forever, right? This group will own this place. I love it.
And Mr. Ike, you and Grace Baumgartner may be connected right now, because she just came in and said she'd like to know if there are uniforms in the high school. So I think you answered her question as she was asking it.
Thank you, Grace. You read my mind. Although we love the uniform K-8, we think it's got its own space. We think the identity and the individuality of our students in high school is really important, and so we're going a different direction. And so thanks for asking. I love it. We good to move on? This next piece is really important to us, this 4-year planning piece. We're going to give you some examples of what some 4-year plans look like and 4-year outcomes. We can talk all day about, we have this amazing high school academic program and social emotional program, activities programs, but to see it is to believe it, to touch it, and to recognize that we have a pillar of personalization here, that everyone should design a 4-year plan that meets the needs of the student and the goals of the student. Your student will have an opportunity to sit down with your family and with our counseling team, with our administration, and if they have to have their brothers and sisters and aunts, uncles there, whoever is their support network, let's all sit down together and craft these 4-year plans and check in on them regularly. Let's look at Imani. Imani's going to be attending UC Davis as an engineering major. So Imani has sat down with her family and our counseling team and said, okay, I'd like to craft a 4-year plan that gets me to UC Davis and gets me into an engineering program. Well, you can see 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade is a 4-year plan. And you can see that Imani's going to graduate with all of the A to G course requirements to get into UC. Okay, check. But you can see in the highlighted areas, Imani's also going to take some honors courses, which is going to give her a GPA bump to get into college. She's also going to get 2 college-level calculus classes. So through our dual enrollment, she's going to get some college-level mathematics classes. And then she's also going to take 2 of the honors classes that I spoke about. So looking at Imani's schedule now, what I see when I look at this schedule is each semester, Imani's taking one of those highlighted pink squares, but it's not like she's buried. She's not taking 4 really incredibly hard, every semester is well balanced. She can still have an amazing high school experience for all 4 years and then transfer directly to UC Davis and have some engineering major opportunities, but also have a few college courses already under her belt save a couple of dollars and enter college with college credits. So that's Imani's personalized schedule, but let's take a look at Sophia.
And I think there's a misprint on the slide, so I just want to say this out loud, that Sophia is actually going to be attending CSU Cal Poly. I think our next student profile will have us attending Consumnes River College. So Sophia is going to be attending Cal Poly as a liberal arts major. So again, sat down with her 4-year planning. I think you mentioned, Mr. Reich, that an important piece of starting 4-year planning freshman year is that it allows multiple touch points throughout those 4 years. We know that our freshmen are going to come in, and we are excited to talk about their future with them. But we know that future changes as you experience different classes and you grow and you get closer and closer to graduation. And so we see Sophia with graduating 5 transferable college courses and those full 8 extra points. So there are 8 total points allowed by the UC and CSU system for admission with that GPA bump, and Sophia has gained all of those points, making her a very competitive candidate in that tough applicant pool.
Love it.
All right. Our next 4-year plan student is Brady, who will be attending Consumnes River College with an early childhood education major. And you'll see here, we're also seeing a 4-year plan that includes quite a few college classes, graduating with 5 transferable college classes with 6 extra points for the UC and CSU admission with that grade bump, which will help. This student also has taken, you can see the HCD 310 classes, which is basically like a introduction to college class. This is how college rolls. This is how we kind of prepare to write in college. It's a foundational class that's going to be awesome for our students to take to set them up for success in their future classes. And then there are 4 specialized early childhood education classes that will lead Brady, by the time he graduates from high school, to earn an early childhood education micro certificate. And will only need a few more classes through ARC to earn the full certificate and associate's degree, which leads to a really straightforward job in childcare or operating a childcare center, which we all know, especially my family, is really important to have trusted folks in that career field. So it's a really great opportunity to put those classes together for a micro certificate that the student can walk out the door when they graduate from Westlake Charter High School with not only being college ready by meeting those A through G requirements, having those extra grade bumps in case they decide they want to change their mind and go to UC or CSU, and you've got a certificate, so you've got a guaranteed job right out the door.
So to put you guys on the spot a little bit, what are some other micro certificates that are plausible for our students to obtain during their 4 years at Westlake Charter High School?
Trying to ping pong back and forth. The top one that comes to my mind is mechanics. So they have a large diesel mechanic. And, I think we are looking for what we've learned during this time of distance learning, right? And as a K-8, soon to be K-12 school, our partners at American River College are doing the same. They are 100% virtual right now. So they've got classes where students could only take the class if they came in and worked on an engine. And now, how do we make that class virtual? And they're learning, and what they said to us just this week was, we see these classes when we come back to being in person still being offered online, which just blows open our opportunities and possibilities.
Some other, Miss Batten, that I know our students will be excited about are culinary opportunities in the culinary field. Also in construction, which around in this region, you see construction everywhere. So what a great field to get into construction technology. Some potentially in fire science or public safety, like police, firefighting, those kinds of areas. So ARC is continuing to expand their opportunities. So pretty much anything a student might be interested in career-wise, I would be willing to bet that ARC has something that'll kind of be in their area of interest.
I love it. What amazing opportunities for our students. Really, it's something special. Any questions in the field we should answer, Ms. Batten?
I had a question of I think I said jibe very quickly, and so there was a question on what is jibe.
Yeah.
So jibe is what was formerly the North and Thomas Transportation Association, now operates the small buses that transport folks from North and Thomas downtown and all around North and Thomas. And so they've been wonderful partners with us for our walking school bus and now potentially for our motorized transportation.
Very good. Very good. I think this is our last topic, maybe, and it is location. We have an awesome location. It's wonderfully located. It's amazingly spacious inside. We're gonna, spice it up with some coats of paint and some really amazing furniture and some really cool spaces for our students to hang out. We'd love to talk through it briefly tonight. Here's a big, wide open space. And gosh, that it has beautiful lighting, but it kind of looks a little drab with the gray floor. Well, yeah, once Mrs. Batten and Mrs. Sargent get done with it, it's going to look a little cooler, right? This is just one of the many spaces inside of the East Commerce Innovation Center. This is what we're calling the Student Commons. It's not the cafeteria, because the reality is a cafeteria gets used like 1 hour a day. We want this place to be flexible and a space where kids can hang out like a university commons, where they can go study in there. Teachers can hold small group in there. It can be a study lounge, a place to eat. We can move the furniture out, make it a place for students to practice dance and hold club meetings. It's got beautiful light and tons of ventilation. It's wonderful. We've already started picking out, furniture. This is some of the schematic drawings. There'll be, booths to sit in to get that kind of restaurant feel off in this corner, that kind of Starbucksy vibe. But there'll also be, look at the wide variety of furniture types that are in this room, so that, yeah, you could load a lot of people in there, but also you could spread it out and make it feel much like a cafe. We're very excited about this particular space within our East Commerce Innovation Center. You want to talk about the outdoor space, Ms. Batten?
I do, and I don't want to stay on this slide for too long. Because as Mr. Wright, this fall I got to talk to lots of our 8th grade families, and while at that point we weren't sure of our location, families that have been in Natomas for a while maybe have had students who have gone to school on the East Commerce campus, on the East Commerce Innovation Center campus. Like, what about that outdoor space? They would say, I love the indoor space, all the classrooms you need, that commons area is beautiful, but what about that outdoor space? And we are just so excited about the possibilities that are what we are about to do in that outdoor space. I don't know that it's someplace we're going to want to leave once we have those pieces in there. So we've been working closely with a landscape architect and a construction company to imagine what that 11,000 square feet outdoors can look like. We're looking to have a sports area, an outdoor classroom to continue, again, extending that indoor-outdoor learning that we have in our K-8. A place to eat. So there's flow of the commons. For those of you who maybe don't know the layout of the campus, our commons will flow right into the outdoor space. So you've got that indoor-outdoor dining option. And it just really, and again, each piece that we build, whether it's the academic program, the SEL program, is being built on such a solid foundation. So we walked our K-8 campus with the landscape architect, and he's like, I see your vision. I see what you did in this campus, and we can make that happen at the East Commerce Innovation Center. So we are so excited about this outdoor space.
Yeah, I love this raised seating, quiet space, and a little Zen walk. I love, and I also love the call to action on this, where we're going to be working with the construction team to say, hey, we could build some of this furniture on our own. Some of those tables with the plants growing through them, those are from the Beast and the Bounty downtown. We could design something like that, and if you've got some woodworking tools in your garage, we might just put you to work helping to build some of this outdoor furniture. We're very excited about the collaboration opportunities, bringing lots of greenery out there to really make the space feel the right way for our students. There'll be shade wind sails out there, so we have nice shade. Very exciting. To work on this has been very innovative. This space, though, oh my goodness.
Oh, I get the most special place. I'm so excited about the Explorer Lounge. And it's been so wonderful. So not very many high schools I've ever worked at or been to have an Explorer Lounge. I don't know about you, Mr. Ike, but our students on the Spirit Council and that we've talked to in our coffee talks and have said, we want a place to be on our campus. We want a place where we can hang out, where we can maybe do some gaming, where we could play ping pong, where we could study, where we could interact with our friends. And so we have designed the Explorer Lounge, and our students are going to actually help us with the exact furniture and some of the mural work. So we're really excited to provide this Explorer Lounge for our students to have a place that's theirs on our campus where they can unwind a little bit and really build those solid connections.
What a cool opportunity, you guys. I mean, video games, ping pong, a place to hold your club meeting, hang out. The Explorer Lounge, man, that's where you'll find me. That sounds like the spot right there. Hey, speaking of cool places to hang out, this is a cool place to hang out, and looks like Mrs. Caillou, who's joined us to hang out with us. Hi, Mrs. Caillou.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for letting me come I love this part of the show. I get to come at the end and talk, and I've been watching it. It's such an exciting thing to look at our high school program and how far we've come, and we're so excited to launch it in the fall. So, and I'm very excited to send our 8th graders from 8th grade to 9th grade and to continue on with our program.
It's going to be great. Mrs. Batten, before we move into the next slide, do you have any questions?
We do have some great questions coming in. I just want to, again, thank those families that are watching out there. It's so fun. I know that in this setting, we are like, we wish we were in the cafeteria working together, but I think this is just such a wonderful substitution for this event, and it's so great to have questions coming in live. So a question that we had, I'm just going to read this question because I want to make sure I say it correctly. So high school students are very impressionable. How will you address things such as age, sexuality, sexual identity, alcohol prevention, campus culture, and things that organically pop up with this age group? It's such a great question.
Oh, it's such a great question. You know, it's funny. I'm sorry. I was going to jump in. Can I?
No, go for it.
I'll just take off, and you can jump in after. But you know, I mentioned, for example, when we talked about not having uniforms in the high school, that identity was incredibly important to us, and that our children have the opportunity to start to develop their identity as young adults. And you know, a lot of the work we're doing right now at the K-8 and will be at the K-12 as well is talking through things like the social justice standards and ensuring that we understand at a deep level identity, diversity, justice, and action. Those are the social justice standards, and they're really, you know, the book study we're doing right now. This book is anti-racist. You know, the first 4 chapters talk about what does it mean to have identity, and how do each of our identities need to be allowed to be expressed. And it's just such a phenomenal piece of work for our school to be working on as we're launching a high school, because it's important at every grade level. So I don't want to discount that. But from 9th through 12th grade, as these, you know, boys and girls become young men and women who then go on to graduate and be our future leaders, those issues are incredibly important to us. So it'll be part of the curriculum. It'll be part of the professional development work that we're doing as staff, and it'll be woven purposefully into the standard work that we do 9-12. It really is. It's a great question. It's so important.
I agree. I think the only thing I would add to that is just that we have partnered with San Francisco Unified School District, Escondido Union High School District, and we've gotten to talk to them about, whenever we talk to a high school leader, we say, hey, what is the thing that helps to build that strong school culture, that helps to keep our students healthy, that exploring those things that our 9th through 12th graders should be exploring, but in a safe way. And over again, we hear advisory. Having an advisory, having that group that I come back to, that I build a safe community with, that can then spill into the rest of the school community, right? You see the advisory having a positive impact on the rest of the school community. So having definitely all the pieces you added, you said, Mr. Eichen, with advisory.
Yeah, from a services standpoint, though, Ms. Batt, like honestly, I mean, with only our 125 freshmen, having a school psychologist and a counselor and a teacher on special assignment and the principal who are all outside of the classroom, I mean, the amount of wraparound supports that are available. I mean, I think one thing we pride ourselves on at Westlake is I believe we know our students, that we are connected to and have a pulse on where our students are at individually. And I think that is something we want our high school to be a place where your child goes to school and everybody knows their name. Yeah, I don't want anybody walking down the hall anonymously at Westlake Charter High School. And that happens at some of our big high schools, you know, and it's just not who we're going to be.
Right. Absolutely. Another question I think, Mr. Reich, that you maybe want to field is, will in-person tours be offered of our new campus?
Oh man, I would love this so much. Right. Well, first of all, let's get you know, things moving on in person. That word in person is a little charged right now. We have a board meeting tomorrow night about in-person instruction. So as we talk about reopening our K-8 for in-person instruction, and as things change, you know, in our community regarding in-person anything, absolutely. Let us get some paint on the walls. Let us get a couple of things up. But certainly by the time the late spring and early summer roll around, we would love to get you on that campus and walk you through it so you could see it. We can certainly do a better job at this point of, once the current tenants move out, of getting some videos through there. You'll be surprised. Most of the classrooms are bigger than our classrooms. I mean, they're really big, I don't want to say cavernous, but high ceiling, really nice learning spaces. So the classrooms are really cool. All the extra spaces, like the commons and the Explorer Lounge. But yeah, we'd love to get our families on that campus. I just get giddy thinking about it. Like, yeah, let's do some tours. I love me some tours.
Let's go over. Yeah,
I love it.
And then these aren't necessarily questions. I do want to shout them out though. So a family just said we want to celebrate how excited we are to be part of Westlake Charter High School.
That's
so
cute.
Exciting.
That's cute.
Somebody asked about volunteering at the high school, and we are so excited to begin that conversation with our WAVE team. So we'll definitely be updating our families. And then a couple of families are just sending in resources for financial literacy and
Nice.
Identity and social awareness. And so I think we just, there's a group out there that is excited as we are about the launch of this school. And we're so excited to come together.
Hashtag better together. We are better together. Thank you, community. Let's get Mrs. Caillou. Are you part of this next slide? Or
I think
she's the next one. My fault. I jumped the gun on that. Sorry. Ms. Batten, I think, is this you?
This is me. Sorry. Yep. So as we talk about volunteering, and there's already people who are in that question form. So I'll just take you back to that question form. I think it's posted on the video right now. Capital WCHS, capital P, parent, capital N. So that question form, if you go there, you don't have a question. There is a place to jump in for a call to action. So one of the questions we've been asked a lot by our families is, hey, what's your plan for food services on your campus? And this is something that is really important to us. We have partnered with several different food agencies, probably not the right word, but they said, hey, let's bring together a focus group of your families who are interested in talking about this piece. And so we're asking our 8th grade families first, if you are interested in talking about what food services will look like at the high school. We have some awesome ideas that are kind of slowly coming to fruition, but please jump in and jump into the conversation. We'll be setting up a meeting in the next couple of weeks to begin that dialogue with our families. So if you go to that form, you don't have to ask a question. You can just indicate your interest to join that team. And then, Mr. Ike, as we were talking about outdoor furniture, one of the things that we're receiving from our architect is just things that families can build that could be part of our outdoor seating. So if you are handy with equipment, or if you want to voluntold somebody in our community who you know is handy with equipment, jump on that form and indicate that there, and we'll be reaching out to that team shortly as well to begin some of that work.
I like that, Ms. Batten. So you can tag somebody on Facebook or Twitter, voluntold somebody, and we'll jump on it. We'll see that you tag them, and we'll reach out to them. That'd be great.
I also realize this is forever on YouTube, so someone's going to go show that I told them to do that. But
That's right.
It's good. And then this is the call to action that we're very excited about. And families, before I share this call to action, I do want to say I know that we have so much information we're sending out virtually tonight. We've got bit.lys and links all over the place. We will send an email out tomorrow morning that has the YouTube video, all of these links. So should you not be able to pull them off, you'll receive communication tomorrow that has them all there. Because I think there's some people who are going to want to take advantage of this next call to action. If you are one of the first, so in a moment, Mrs. Kai and I are going to talk about some upcoming dates, and one of them is going to be about accepting or declining your 9th grade spot. But if you're one of the first families to jump on that intent to return form, and one of the first 50 families, we're going to give your child a personalized WCHS sweatshirt with their name across the back if they want it to be. So it'll be one of those, like a special little additional piece of merchandise. We're going to talk about some merch that we're giving out, but a piece of merchandise that your student will receive for being one of the first families to say, yep, we're all in. So if you are interested in doing that tonight, you're going to go to that link, wcsinfo.cc/intent to return, capital I, capital T, capital R. So if you go to that form, there'll be questions asking you, are you in? And if you are one of the first 50, we'll make you part of the personalized sweatshirt club.
I love it. I love the call to action. I love hey, I know there's a lot of information, decisions to be made, but now is the time. Grab your slot. We have lottery next week, and there are lots of people lining up in the lottery to be part of that freshman class. We are holding your seat for you, but we would love to know that you want that seat, because we don't want to also disenfranchise anybody who wants it if our families aren't coming. Very exciting. Talk us through some of these dates right here, some upcoming dates for our 8th grade families.
Yeah, Mrs. Kai and I are going to tag team this one, I think. So we'll go back and forth.
Yeah, we were talking about it. We're like, hey, these are our eighth grade families, a lot of them, and we're so happy that we get to end the eighth grade year with them. And so this night was all about high school, but on Tuesday, March 9th, it will be all about the end of the year eighth grade events for our K-8 program. And so we'll have a drive-through celebration, much like we did last year, where the eighth grade families will get to come through and celebrate. We'll have a dinner in some fashion, like we did last year, and we will have promotion in some fashion, like we did last year. And we're very excited to celebrate these eighth grade explorers as they are going on to high school. And so we wanted just to make sure, like, this is our eighth grade families. Let's talk to you and make sure that you are aware of these great events that are coming up, and to join us on March 9th as we ask you to be a part of those planning committees too, to be help us and collaborate with us to celebrate your students at the end of the year. And then Mrs. Batten, you want to take the next one, or you want me to take it?
If I can I jump in that one?
Absolutely.
Okay? All right. So we talked about that commitment day on the intent to return form. So on Friday, March 12th, you will receive an email that will have the same form that you have access to tonight. That will be our high school commitment day. We were going to ask all of our families to either accept that ninth grade spot. Again, as Mr. Ike said, all 112 of our eighth grade families have a spot in ninth grade. And so we're going to ask you first to accept that spot or decline it. And we'll begin building that freshman class. And then we're asking that form is completed by Monday, March 22nd. Because what that allows us to do is in those declined spots, we'll begin releasing to our wait list families so we can really fill all of our spots for our ninth graders, because on Friday, March 26th, we're having our first ninth grade class formation day. So all members of our founding ninth grade class will be invited to, in kind of a drive-through fashion probably at this point. We'll get details out to families as we get closer. You'll be able to pick up a high school merchandise bag with some goodies inside of it, and to sign our high school plaque. So we'll have a plaque that will be installed in that campus with all of our first ninth grade class signatures on it. And then, very exciting, some of our founding team members will also be present at that class formation day. So you get to kind of see the start of who the team is for our freshman class.
So exciting, so exciting. So this is it. This is the call to action. This is make your decision, families. Click on that form. Let us know you're coming. We'll get you some. You keep saying merch. Is it merch? Are we saying merch?
Sorry. Yeah.
We'll get you some.
I was told by some student. I kept calling it swag, and then a 6th and 7th grader told me that was not what I should be calling it.
We're not doing swag anymore, guys. We're doing merch. I'm in. I'm here. I got it, man. We got a high school now. We got to up our hip game, man. So yeah, let's do some merch. I love it. So we will have a founding freshman class party on the 26th. That is amazing. Are there any questions in the form before we wrap up the show, Mrs. Batten?
There are some great questions. I'm going to throw them out, and maybe Mrs. Sargent, Mr. Ike, and Mrs. Kyle, if you want to jump in, because I'll monitor the form. So one of our questions from Mrs. Johnson is, will the elective teachers be trained in specific elective subjects they teach and have appropriate professional experience with it? Just to make sure that they are true electives and that there are those transferable. So what are the electives and who will
Sarge, you want to talk to credentialing? You want to take that?
Yeah, sure. Definitely, especially in high school, because like we mentioned before, our classes will be A through G approved. We have to submit to the UC Office of the President to get those courses approved. Part of that is having a scope and sequence for what will be taught when, what materials or textbooks will be used, and also the credentialing of our teachers. In high school, we have to verify for lots of different reasons that our teachers are qualified and credentialed to teach the courses that they teach. So definitely that will look a little different than electives do at middle school and elementary school. So yes, definitely they'll be trained. Definitely folks will be credentialed adequately. And we're going to offer a ton of cool offerings. You will be able to see kind of a more extensive list if you click on one of the bit.ly links, and Ms. Batten will remind me which one it is. There is our school profile. And on there, you'll see some options of classes, and you'll be able to dig in there and get a little bit more of a look on what kind of some of those options will be. But we're looking at things like journalism, like drama, like technology-based classes. I don't know what else, Mr. Ike. We talked about all kinds of things. We've talked a little bit also about really building our elective course sequence around our students' interests. And so what do our students really want to take? What are they interested in exploring more about? And then building that backwards map piece for personalized for our students.
Yeah, we saw a lot of interest in fitness. We saw a lot of interest in music and the arts, and drama, theater, things like that. And so those would be great courses for us to run. You had me kind of at drama, so I was like, let's put on a school play. I'm in.
Yearbooks, another popular one. Student government, we talked a little bit about Spirit Council, but we'll have a leadership course for student government officers and so on, other students as well.
Legitimate ASB officers, right? Associate Student Body President. Oh, I love it. So exciting.
I already had a student email me to tell me they wanted to be the student body president, and I was like, maybe that's the way it happens, but
I don't think so, but maybe.
No, probably not. Full election. A great question about our 4x4 schedule. I think, I just to acknowledge time, we are at 7 o'clock, which is the end of the show. So if families do need to jump off, this will continue to be recorded. We'll take a few more questions, and if we can't get to all of them, we will make sure that we answer those through our website or through tomorrow's communication. So I'll just throw this one out there. The 4x4 schedule, there's a question just around core academic classes being taught, taking math in fall semester and then maybe not taking math again until the next fall semester. And so how we'll sort of mitigate that potential learning loss between semesters. So that question around, in particular, like math and foreign language and some of those courses that build on each other.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most common conversation about 4x4 scheduling. Now, when I was a high school principal, which has now been, a decade ago, and the 4x4 was really just kind of starting to bubble. It was really only 15 years ago that I first saw the 4x4 schedule. I think that was a big concern, and that's still everyone's concern when they first meet the 4x4 schedule. But obviously, it's been so successful in award-winning high schools in our region. Schools that are gold and silver medal awarded schools in our region. Lots of them up in the Roseville, Rockland. Some right here in Natomas. So there are mitigating opportunities or ways to mitigate that loss. You can imagine, for example, backloading your math course onto that second semester and picking up the second one the first semester the next year. There's also ways to utilize the schedule to double dip. Some students are going to want to back-to-back math in 1 year to accelerate their math timeline. Same thing with foreign language or language other than English. So lots of opportunities to do that. Obviously, we'll be modeling some of what some of the other schools do. We're very close with NP3 right here in Natomas, and they've been running the 4x4 schedule, for well over a decade, and do a great job with it. So I think we'll be, using strategies that are proven in other schools.
And as we made the decision to go on the 4x4 model, the flex blocks, we don't necessarily call that out directly, is a component of that decision, right? So you can see a student who took Math 1 maybe in the fall semester, then has strategically placed flex block periods in math with their math teacher throughout the spring semester so that they're continuing that work forward. And I think the benefits, we definitely looked at every schedule possible, and the benefits of the 4x4 longer class periods, the ability to complete so many college level courses and honors courses and have the personalization and schedule far out. Like, we felt like we were with our schedule that we were able to mitigate that learning loss. And again, as Mr. Ike said, so many partners who have such successful high schools are like, yes, this is the schedule to go with.
Yeah, so many interesting benefits too, right? I mean, honestly, for our students who we want them to be involved in sports and clubs and have a life outside of school, focusing on 4 classes instead of 7 classes is a big deal, right? Having to have 7 midterms or 7 final exams or 7 sets of homework or 7 sets of notes in your binder versus 4 allows our students to be students, to get rigorous content, but also to focus on a little bit of life while they're going through high school.
Yeah, so I think we have some other questions coming in. However, I think what we'll do is make sure those questions, a lot of them are answered in some of the documentation that we shared. And so we'll send that out to families to make sure that they have access to that tomorrow. And of course, as I almost said, as always, let's explore.
As always.
But as always, please feel free to reach out to myself or Mrs. Sargent, Mr. Ike, Mrs. Caillou, and we are happy to answer any questions you have about the high school. When people send me an email that says Westlake Charter High School, I get very excited, and I'm like, I will call you right now to talk about it. So we're so excited for this program, and thank you so much for spending the time with us this evening.
Yeah, and to everybody who's watching tonight, thank you. We are at the 1 hour mark, so we should wrap it up for sure. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of Westlake Charter School. To those of you on this screen, though, thank you. You know, I've been at Westlake Charter School a little less time than a couple of you have been, but for the very first day I got to Westlake Charter School, because I was an old high school principal for many years, that board of directors said, we got to start working toward building a high school. And for me to have been here now almost a decade and to see this vision coming to fruition and to have it happen for this 8th grade class, I mean, this is a special class of students, man. We all got a ton of love for this group. To have it happen right now, I am just elated. I am excited. And I'm going to tell you, I know every high school leader in the region by name. I got them on my speed dial. We all work together. And I got to tell you what, this high school that this team has put together is absolutely incredibly competitive. I mean, I think it's going to be the best high school in the region. I don't think it's going to be a small school, Mrs. Batten. You get in a room with 500 high school kids, you are going to feel the power of what it is to be Westlake Charter High School. So, family, thank you for being part of the show. Thanks for coming out tonight. We're looking forward to seeing you here at our K-8 school, but we're looking forward to seeing all of you at our high school. All right, thanks for tuning in. And as always, let's explore. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
So fun.